Hopefully it doesn't get. Oh shit, it's not working. Give me a second here. Hopefully it doesn't push me out of the article. Because I mean I basically explained and it's gonna push me out the fucking article. Oh no it's not. No it's not. Okay, good. Continue on in this other article, right? Because we finished with the other one, the NRDC whatever thing, right? Bloomberg.com about the Visa, right? Started next month, the San Francisco-based company will quadruple the maximum transaction amount that carries better interchange rates for purchases made with small businesses and commercial cards. According to a document seen by Bloomberg, Visa will also raise the fraud liability threshold to $175, according to a person familiar with the matter. Taken all together, the moves should mean gas stations can raise limits and fewer consumers will face pump shutoffs. In response to increased fuel prices, Visa is making an adjustment according to the document. This change will ensure the best available interchange rates are received for larger fuel transactions, which should lead to fewer pumps shutting off while card holders are refueling. So basically, they're basically gonna, as I said, increase that maximum transaction limit that a person can pay because the gas is so fucking high and people are spending so much money that they have to repeatedly do it over and over and over again and have to face the pump shutting off, you know? A spokesman for Visa confirmed the authenticity of the document. Rival MasterCard will increase the amount it pre-authorizes at gas stations to $175 from $125 for consumer cards to $500 from $350 for commercial cards. In light of current fuel prices and in an effort to support fuel merchants, MasterCard is planning to increase pre-authorization levels for purchase. New York-based company said this will be complemented by additional fraud monitoring efforts to support fuel merchants during this time. Now I want to go get a precept, man, because this isn't gonna fix shit, man. This is the book of Psalms, the 94, verse 20. Should a thorn of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frame is mischief by a law? So clearly, what these credit card companies are doing, they're trying to get on the people's good side, man. You know what the government's doing, what Biden's doing right now, trying to lower the gas prices, you know, by trying to tap into oil reserves. What is he trying to do? He's trying to get the people on their side. Because people are complaining, people are upset, man. All right? But the throne of iniquity is not going to have fellowship with you, man. All right? They're not. And secondly, this is a debt-based society, man. All right? We already know, actually, when we're going to get further into this article, that's why I'm reading it. Actually, I'm going to continue reading it because I don't want it to get shut off because I'm not going to pay for a Bloomberg membership. You know, if I had the cash for it, maybe. But I'm not doing that shit. Let's see here. We may actually jump down. In light of current fuel prices and an effort to support fuel merchants, MasterCard is planning to increase pre-authorization levels of purchase. The New York-based company said this will be complemented by additional fraud monitoring efforts to support fuel merchants during this time. That shit's not going to work, man. Now, however it turns out, whatever little fraud prevention, somehow these people are going to get their money stolen. Having that much money and spending like $500 at a gas station, someone's gonna figure out how to steal that, man. You know, gas prices have soared in recent months with the national average, which you know you shouldn't even be trusting these devils anyway, man. What does devil mean? Devil means false accuser, deceiver. All right, and that's what that so-called white man is, man. He's a liar. So you could think he may say, oh, you know, we're gonna fix things, we're gonna make it so that people won't steal your money, your credit card information, your money from the gas station. You're gonna get your shit stolen, man. One way or another, man. Which of course is the Lord ain't dealing with you, you're gonna get your shit stolen. But Lord willing, that's men in his truth hopeful neck that we're gonna be all right. You know, gas prices have soared in recent months, with national average for a gallon of regular unleaded fuel reaching $4.21 this week, according to the American Automobile Association. That's up from $3.61 $3.61 a month ago, and just $2.88 a year ago. The move is just one of many that Visa and MasterCard are making in the coming weeks. This is actually what I want to get into. We'll keep reading. More changes. MasterCard, for instance, will lower the fees and charges for any transaction under $5 by about 300 basis points, according to separate people with knowledge of the matter. I don't know what basis points means, and actually I don't want to leave the website because I don't want to risk getting locked out of it, you know? According to separate people with knowledge of the matter, the firm is also planning to lower the rates it charges hotels, rental car companies, daycare facilities, and casual dining restaurants. The company's so-called digital enablement fee, which charges on all online transactions, will increase 0.2% of a purchase from 0.1%. So it seems like they're going to increase charges on all online transactions. It seems to be for mostly businesses. So that's what it seems like. The MasterCard will charge a minimum of 2% per transaction. That means for a $50 online purchase, the fee will triple from 0.5% to 2 cents. The fee will also be capped at 20 cents, meaning that for larger online purchases, those over $1,000, MasterCard will be cutting the amount the merchant pays. As part of that move, MasterCard is bundling more of its services into a digital enablement fee. I'm gonna skip down a little bit because we don't really need that.
I feel like it's just so cool too. I was telling the guy who was the cheers for.
Where was it? There was something that I found that's gonna go into the mark slightly. There we go. As part of that move, MasterCard's bundling more of its services into the development and enablement fees, such as charges for mitigating fraud, preventing identity theft, or verifying addresses. Our focus remains ensuring the safety and security of payments while balancing the interests of all parties, MasterCard said in a statement. Electronic payments have proven even more valuable since the start of the pandemic, and that's why we're seeing merchants encouraging their customers to use electronic forms of payments due to the significant amount they receive in return. All right, so what is that going into? Obviously, if you're using an electronic form of payment, right? What is a key attribute of using an electronic form of payment? Electronic form of payment doesn't use any FRNs. You're not using the literal notes. All right, what is that going into? A cashless society. Now, why do they want to have the cashless society? Let's go back to Revelation, the 13th chapter. This book of Revelation, chapter 13. Revelation 13, verse 16, is he called all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. This is what these Edomites are going to do, man. You know, they're going to cause all, small and great. That's everybody, man. You know, free and bond, people in the jails. You know, people that are not in the jails. To take that poker chip, man. That fucking poker chip, man. You know, and that's what it's going into. You got to go into the word mark. The word mark is charagma. All right, charagma is basically going into an implantable mark, or something implanted under your skin. You know, something implanted into you when you go into charagma, karat, roughly quoted. You know, and also going back to the word grapho, going into how all your medical records are going to be inside of that little poker chip. All right, well, as we know, from Revelation 14, 8, 9, and 8, Revelation 14, verse 8 through 10, you take that shit, you're going to die, man. The Lord's going to destroy you. Why? Because that's a command. We're commanded not to take that. If you don't, you're a child of disobedience, and therefore your lot is to be, you know, receive the wrath of the Lord. And you're going to have that nuclear fire hit you. You're going to have that lake of fire engulf you. and you're gonna be fucked up. You know, low one amount of that number. You know, that I'll be saved, man. And I gotta go through that. You know, but as for you other people, you're gonna get it. You know, point blank, period. All right. Verse. Where was I? Yeah, here we go. Verse 17, that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, the poker chip, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. You know, when you go into that, you know, which that name, right, is, yeah, once you go into the name, that's basically going to the vibration of America, NATO, and the EU, the vibration of the beast. You know, when you're under their name, that means you're under their influence. That means they're controlling you. You know, you're gonna do what they tell you to do. You're following them. And if you're under their influence and you're under their vibration, then you're gonna do exactly what the fuck they tell you to do. All right? And what are they gonna tell you to do? They're gonna tell you to insert a poker chip into you. And however they want to slice it or dice it, however excuse they want to use, technological innovation, you want to cure your disease, you want to help you with this, you want to help you with that, take that shit, you're gonna die, man. Point blank, period. You take that shit, you're gonna fucking die. You know? So if I were you, I wouldn't do it. You know? Number's name that goes into, you know, it's gonna go into it, 666. You know, it's like Chi Sigma. And I believe the point is the stigma, which goes to like something implanted into you, something like cut, like something implanted into you, basically. That's what that's going into, man. But why does it say here, no man might buy or sell? What's that going into? It's going to how the poker shit is basically gonna be tied to a digital currency, all right, a cashless society. So they've been doing this shit, and now they're gonna move people more to online purchases with this shit right here. You know, they're saying that they're gonna cut and say, I think it's what was it, 20 cents? Fees over 20 cents, so for bigger purchases over $1,000, you know, they're gonna lower merchant fees, something like that, right? They're basically gonna encourage online payments. So by doing that, what do you think is gonna happen? More people are gonna do online payments. Once they switch out and have that transition to the poker chip, people are gonna take it. People are gonna fucking take it. You know, and if they do, according to the scriptures, they're gonna die. Point blank, period. Their fans are butts. They swig of water. Hey man, this is hard work out here, man. You know? I don't give a fuck. You know, we just come out here one day out of a week. You know? Let me see what this guy gonna do. Let's move on. Let's keep moving on here. The fee will also be capped at 20 cents, meaning that for larger online purchases, those over $1,000, MasterCard will be cutting the amount a merchant pays. So what are they doing here? They're basically incentivizing digital payments. Why would they be incentivizing digital payments? Because they want to move to a cashless society. A cashless society where you will need a poker chip inside of your body to make purchases, which is therefore going to force people to do it and therefore lead to their downfall and their death. Point blank, period. And if you don't take it, then they're going to want to kill you anyway. So, that too, you know. As part of that move, yeah, there we go. Piece of rate charges so-called merit for most e-commerce spending. So yeah, that's pretty much what it's talking about. The rest, we'll actually skip down. Especially troubling, merchants have been decrying the firm's plans to increase swipe fees this week. The Merchants Payments Coalition Trade Group asked the United States House Committee on Financial Services to examine the fees. It's just especially troubling given the level of inflation right now. Stephanie March, General Counsel of the National Retail Federation and Executive Committee for the Merchants Payment Coalition, said in an interview, "We're clawing our way to hang onto a slim margin as is. Given that these fees sometimes exceed what our margins are, we have to pass some of those rates raises onto consumers. It's going to lead to more inflation and higher prices for the people, right? While Visa and MasterCard set levels for swipe fees, it's the banks that issue credit and debit cards and just reap the bulk of the income. And where that goes to, woe unto him that let's go get that one. Thick clay. Let's go get thick clay. And basically, we go into the article. There's certain fees that are going to go to the merchants. Certain things they're saying that are going to incentivize online purchases, but then there's also certain fees that's going to be passed on to the merchants, and that's why they're starting to speak up about it, It's lock it. My voice is gone, but let's go get this one. It's the book of Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? Unto him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Alright, so who are the not all these? Shall not all these take a parable against him? Let's go into these other nations, man. And a taunting proverb against him, against Esau, man. And say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? Unto him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Alright, and who's saying how long? This is actually the prophet Habakkuk saying that. He said how long? Because that's the time that we're in right now, where Esau is increasing that which is not his. All right, through his IMF, through his WTO, World Trade Organization, International Monetary Fund, and various bingos or big international non-government organizations, is the medium by which Esau steals and robs. Okay. And woe to him, all right, woe to him that increased that which is not his. How long? It's him that ladeth himself with the clay. Woe meaning destruction, right? Clay is an excellent mistranslation, which means debt, and it comes from the word abatya, which means debt. Okay, we have a debt-based society. This also goes to a different kind of debt as well, a spiritual debt. For putting the children of Israel in slavery, Esau is going to get fucked up. Revelation 13:9 and 10. All right, he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. This is the faith and patience of the saints. This is what we're waiting for. This is what we're hoping for. All right, but that's basically what it's going into, man. Because we have a debt-based society. Everything is debt, credit, debt. You pay with credit, and then you have to pay the credit bill when it comes in. If you don't pay the credit bill, you get interest. That's to say that you're not supposed to take usury. You're not supposed to have interest. They used to like to say everyone's their brother. It's to say that you're not supposed to put usury on your brother. You're not supposed to make your brother pay interest. So if we're all brothers and sisters out here, why the fuck is Esau giving us interest? It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. This is a fucking liar. Fuck Esau. That's why he's a damn devil, man. Moving on, man. We good. So yeah, moving on. This is almost done. We're almost done here. While Visa and MasterCard set the level for swipe fees, it's the banks that issue credit and debit cards and thus reap the bulk of the income. While that goes to Psalm 94 and 20 once again, raising fees for certain people. It's all gonna get into the money of these big banking families, one way or another, man. It's gonna be more profits for them. While many of the changes in the works would amount to mere pennies per transaction, the fees add up. In 2020, merchants paid $110 billion to accept electronic payments, a 5.2% decline from a year earlier, according to the Nielsen report, a true publication. That drop came even as spending on cards rose overall in 2020, the latest for which data is available. That's because during the pandemic, consumers increasingly have been using debit cards, which are generally cheaper than credit cards for merchants to accept. So basically, moving society onto a cashless society. Of course, you just gotta wait and see how this poker chip's gonna come out. When are they gonna do? We know it's close because you already got shit like Neuralink out. We know it's close. You measure that time diligently, right? How do we measure? We measure using the scriptures and using the prophecies. So we're able to understand how close we are to the prophecy through using the scriptures. When you measure something, it means to take account of. So you have a wedding in about 20 minutes. Let's say I have a wedding to go to in about 20 minutes, right? I'm taking account of that time and using that time or whatever I'm doing now to make distance between me and the time of that wedding. So you do the same thing with scriptures. Point blank, period. And next we're gonna get one more, and then I'm gonna go get something to eat. And then I'm gonna go, I gotta go, where I gotta go to? Oh yeah, I know where I gotta go to. I gotta go to fucking Walmart, man. I'm gonna give me some of that black soap, man, because it keeps my skin moist. And I like that, man. Nobody likes no dry skin, man. So Proverbs the 28. Proverbs 29 verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Job 9:24, the wicked bear rule. Malachi 1:4, we know that Esau is the border of wickedness. They call him the wicked. That's how we, Esau the border of wickedness. That's how you can prove that Esau is the wicked. Alright? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Esau has the rulership right now. Esau has the power. And therefore, the people are fucking mourning. Because now they got prices, and fees coming up to these merchants, even though certain things are saying they're going to cut off the fees at certain points. The merchants are still going to have fucking fees, still going to have shit they have to pay for, which is going to make it harder for them to, still survive while inflation is so high and the cost of living is so high. It's going to make it that much harder for businesses to stay afloat. So, once again, it's going to make things worse. It's going to completely, continue to break America down worse and worse until the Lord destroys this place. All right, to close off, we got to face the east, and I want to say, Brak Yahweh, Brak Yahushai, Brak Yahweh, Brak Yahushai, Brak Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Waha, Rakah Kadash. All right, Lord willing, this was edifying. Till next time, to you brothers, I say Shalom.